Hi everyone, good day. I'm Jay Calvadores from BSMT123, and in this video I'm going to show you on how to remove rust and also preparation and application of paint. But before we start, first we need to wear our personal protective equipment or the PPEs. So let's go! Since we don't have all the prescribed personal protective equipment that are mostly used in the vessel, what we're going to do right now is we will use some alternative equipment or protective equipment. So first, we're going to wear our coverall, and for our protective shoes, I just use rubber shoes as an alternative. Then our safety gloves and our safety mask. Then lastly, our hard hat, and then our goggles. But this goggles is not the prescribed one. This is just an alternative one. Now that we are ready, we can now proceed to the tools and materials that we're going to use for the surface preparation and painting. So let's now proceed. So these are the tools that we're going to use. First is the rusted steel that we're going to use to remove its rust, and we're going to paint it. Next is the scraper and wire brush. We're going to use this tool to remove the rust on the steel. Next is fresh water and mild soap or powder soap. And the last one is the paintbrush as well as the paint. And these are used in the application of paint. So now, we're going to identify the part of the steel plate with corrosion and thus a rust on it. So as you can see in the steel, it has a lot of corrosion and rust. So what we're going to do is we will remove this one. So after we identify the part of the steel plate that has a corrosion and rust, the next thing to do is we're going to remove them with the use of the steel brush or wire brush and a scraper. But in the actual execution, our goggles must be used to protect our eyes from the dusty or the rust that is being removed. But in my case, I cannot wear it because it's blurred. So let's proceed.
It's my life. It's my life. I got dirty. It's my life. I'm shopping. It's my life. Money. It's my life. Lazy. It's my life. I got dirty. It's my life. Shopping. It's my life. Money. Yeah. It's my life. Lazy. It's my life. I got dirty. It's my life. I wanna shopping. It's my life.
So we're done removing corrosions in the steel plate, and we're going to proceed on the cleaning the chipping area. And we have to remove the particles or dust we get from the rusted steel.
Not very good with people. If you don't start a conversation, you won't have one.
So let's now proceed in the preparation and application of paint. So let's go! So the thing that you need to do is to wash it using mild soap or powder soap and a fresh water. And after we wash it, we need to rinse it with a fresh water without a powder or soap. Yung sa ako. Sabi tayo, wow, sabi tayo. So let me just remove my gloves, my safety gloves. Then you have to rinse it with fresh water without powder soap. Then you have to wait for a few minutes for it to dry. So now we're done waiting. Our steel is already dry. And now we have to proceed. And after we wash this rusted steel, we're going to block the area to make sure it is free from dust and water increase. So this is how we block the dust. We just put an alternative one. We just use a carton so that the dust will not come over here. So after that, we're going to prepare our paint here by stirring it in order to mix evenly pigment and resin. And it is also in order for us to adjust the viscosity of the paint, we need to use a thinner. So let's mix it first. And I think this is already good because the thinner is already being added into it and it's already mixed evenly. Now that we're done for the preparation, we can now start applying the paint on the steel evenly and with sufficient amount of thickness. It depends on us if we're going to apply the paint is either first, second or third coating, as long as we applied enough and sufficient amount of thickness on this steel plate. So let's now paint this one. Let's just paint this in a one way. So let's wait for it again to dry so that we can apply our second coating. So okay, now it's already dry for our first coating, and now we will apply our second coating. So we're done applying our second coating. So this is it now. We're done putting the paint on the steel plate. As you can see, it has a big difference from before and after. The rust has been already removed and we already painted. And now we're done. Thank you for watching and I hope you learned something from my video. See you in my next video. Bye guys.